Hi, my name is Cliff Sampson, and I pastor the First Baptist Church of Yorba Linda. When I was in the 6th grade, not having any idea really what the Bible said, aside from a few Bible stories, of my utter brokenness and a conviction of my sin, and that I could never make myself good enough for God. And I remember crying out to him and going, I know that what I do will never get me into heaven. But because you're God, what do you want me to be? How do you want me to live my life? I don't know what else to say but to humbly come to you. And I've realized later that that was the Holy Spirit speaking. And his answer was quite simple. It was to love people. And he gave me a genuine love for people. So in reality, it started before I had a personal relationship with God. I knew him. I talked with him. So he was somebody that I knew that I could talk to. But it's like a person on the street. You know you can speak with them, but to have a relationship is a whole other thing. He gave me that. And then on another day, later in my life, just after I graduated from high school, through not just the nudgings, but actually it felt like a friend had entrapped me into bringing me to a Bible study. It was the last place I wanted to be, but he was my best friend, and it was either walk home or go in. So I went in, and that night I did something I never expected to do. And certainly not that evening, I said, Jesus, if you're real, come into my life, forgive me of my sin, and make me to be the kind of person you want me to be. As we talked about a little bit earlier, I was heading into medicine, and my undergraduate degree is in biology at UC Irvine. And in the process of being a brand new Christian at school, where everybody was talking about Christianity is ridiculous and Christianity is silly, and I'm listening to all my professors put down this newfound faith that I have. I'm thinking, what does science have to do with Christianity? And so I found myself continuing to grow in my love for science and for medicine, but so much more so in my love for my Lord and for people. And in that process, God was calling me into ministry, hands-on with other students and professors and those who worked at school and those who lived around us. And in taking that time and caring for people, I felt that call from God to be a minister, but he was also saying, I want you to be a pastor. And I did the most mature, responsible thing that I could possibly do, knowing what pastors experience and go through, and I told God no. Anyways, guess who won? In that whole process, God brought me to a place where he literally swallowed me. It felt like, I know it's figurative, but it felt like he swallowed me with a giant fish. And he spit me out on the shores of the American Baptist Seminary of the West in Berkeley, California. And in that process, I had finally said, yes, okay, Lord, I'll be a pastor. And that's the start. And our vision as a church are 3 very basic, simple things. If you think of the important colors of red and green and blue, and I remember it simply with the R, the color red, is to rely on him. To learn to rely on him and to be totally steadfast on him, that he will provide the power and everything that we need to live. So that's rely, that's the red. The G, the green, to grow together in him by the teaching of his word. Finally, that color blue, to bring people, others to him. And so we are well known through many of the areas. This is the place. We now host this place, this food bank, which reaches out to those who are hungry here in this local area and throughout this part of Orange County. And so it's our privilege to be able to care for folks who are hungry, and if they want to talk or they need prayer or just whatever it might be, to be able to take the time to share with them. That's part of our joy. And our food bank was started by somebody who was a part of our church over 30 years ago, before I came here, and established this place in which foodstuffs and other items were brought together to care for those who were both the poorest families in Yorba Linda and also those who are going through temporary times of difficulty. And I can't tell you how many times we've had people in Mercedes and other fancy cars come and pull up and be desperately in need of food. We also, in the process of hosting that, in our two-story building, we have NA groups, AA groups, Al-Anon groups that meet together. We're able to encourage and help folks. We have actually a couple of other churches that use our facilities. One is a part of us together as a body. They speak a different language, but we come together and get a chance on occasion to meet and worship together. And then another was church that lost their facilities, and we were able to reach out to them and say, hey, come and meet here together with what you need. It's another part of the process. We've designed our campus, even now as we're working, because Yorba Linda is being rebuilt. And even in all of these old buildings, our pathways and walkways, we're in the process of knowing that this is going to become a walking area. And so we're actually trying to make this a place that people, when they're shopping or eating or watching movies or just coming to spend time with someone else, and I don't know if this will be picked up on the microphone, but there's the sound of construction going on around us even as we speak, to be able to bring folks in, give them a place that's a little cooler when it's hot, a little warmer when it's cold, benches that will have music that's playing around them and monitors that will show peaceful scenes and tell the stories about God's love for us. I mean, everything we can do, we want to reach out to people.